Hey guys, Bushman Outdoors here, and gonna give you a little fishing tip today. Really into fishing as well as all the outdoor stuff, so figured I'd start making a few a mix of some of the fishing videos and stuff. But today I wanted to show you how I bait a Zoom Super Fluke to a Strike King jig. This is, I believe, the 3/8, no, half ounce size. So this here, these are really great because they have a little rattle here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a little bit of a rattle in there. So whether you're doing some swim jigging or you're doing more of a finesse style approach to jigging, it'll rattle just on every tap on the ground. I really like this jig. Black and blue is my favorite color of this particular jig. I do like I believe they have a Texas craw, but it's kind of a brownish green. I'm not sure if they call it that. I know a lot of companies call it the Texas color craw. So what you start out with is the Zoom Super Fluke. I like to match the jig with the color of the Super Fluke. I've got multiple colors of these Zoom Super Flukes and multiple color jigs, and I just match them back and forth. So when you start off, this is a little bit long for the way I like to do it. If you notice here, it's just a little bit long and out there. So if I hold it like this, it hangs out a little bit far. And this is more of a swim jig style. That's why you're putting this on there, not like a finesse worm. I've done that, or a craw, a yum craw. Usually, I like yum and some of the havoc ones. Havocs make some great craws that I like to put on jigs. So since it's too long, you don't want to cut the tail. The reason you don't want to cut the tail is that's what's going to make the actual action in the water. So if you cut that off, it's pointless. And so what you're going to do is you're going to go back just about that far, about there, and you're going to cut it. You can either use scissors, knife, whatever. I like to use a sharp knife. Usually does the best. So depending how far you want it, you can leave it like this, and it'll actually work pretty well. But I like to shorten it up a little bit. I've had some tails missing, like short strikes after I've caught a few fish, because this wears down a little bit, and they pulled the tail off. So that's kind of what I'm preventing. So here is the more finished product. You can tell the difference of the two, and you can cut it back more than this, but I don't. This is about the right size, and if you have a bigger jig, you can leave this on here. Here's the trouble: after you cut it, when you first have it on there, it's usually fine. But after you cut it to make it that shorter length, that's when you kind of have a problem with this. So if you put it on there, you can see the bottom of the Super Fluke for a Texas rig, Carolina rig, those types of hooks right here. The problem is with that is it runs into this rattle on this particular jig. I'm not sure about other jigs. If your jig has a rattle like this is where you get that problem. If you have a jig with the dual little moving or just a single moving rattles on them, you don't really get this problem. So to prevent that, what I like to do is get the skirt out of the way, get it folded up, kind of like this, hold the whole jig like this, push your weed deflector is what I like to call it. I'm not sure what the actual name of it is, but it keeps you from getting caught up. Put it on upside down. So you're actually going to put the hook in like this to where it's going to come through the bottom of the Super Fluke. So this one, sorry, it's a little bit hard to do. It's bad lighting in here. Just push it in like that. It's going to try to come through the bottom of the Super Fluke immediately, and you don't want it to do that. There's a little layer here, this little black layer, and you want to stay inside of that with your hook on the jig. This part, if you go through this, it'll make it more of a loose style jig bait, plastic bait, which some people like, and I've used, but I prefer to do it this way. You just push it through, push it all the way on, like so, and there you go. So when it's in the water, it'll sit like this, and if you're jigging with it, it'll kind of sit up, but when you're swim jigging it, your skirt will be around, and it'll basically kind of be like that. And you could shorten it up more than this. You could make you could leave it longer. It doesn't really matter. When it's longer, I don't notice the problem as much hitting the rattle, but when you cut it off, you definitely have that problem. And even if I don't cut them off, if I use this Super Fluke, I just put it on upside down. It's a good habit to have. So that's kind of what